Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I am your girl, Candy Washington, and we are going to have a fun kiki about the Real Housewives of Orange County. I want to say it's season 17 that we're coming up on. It's season 17, and as we all know, Orange County was the first ever Real Housewives of Beverly Hills franchise. And I have to say, I'm really excited for this upcoming season because I think we need just a fun Real Housewives season. You know, everything that's been going on with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has gone a little bit dark. RHOC has gone dark. New Jersey looks like it might be going on the dark side too. So we are just looking for a fun, light season of the Real Housewives, and hopefully that will be this upcoming season of the Real Housewives of Orange County. But before I dive in with the quick update, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. So let's see. So as we all know, Tamra Judge is back. She got her orange back. You know, last season she was let go along with Vicki who were, you know, the OGs of the OC. And she really fought to get her orange back. You know, we saw that she went on the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, and she really excelled there. So she got her orange back. And she has a bone to pick on the upcoming new season. So apparently she is gunning for Shannon because, as we all know, Shannon, Vicki, and Tamra used to be really, really close friends. They were like the Tres Amigas. But Tamra is alleging that the moment she got fired from the Real Housewives of the OC, or demoted to friend of, but then she refused to take the friend of spot, until she ultimately ended up leaving the show, that Shannon no longer wanted to be friends with her. She kind of ghosted her, iced her out. And Tamra saying, oh, well, like when you needed me, you know, to be on the show, when I was on the show, you were calling me all the time. You wanted to be best friends. You know, we were so close when I was on the show. But in the moment I got let go on the show, you kind of like dumped me. And I don't agree with this. You guys know me. I always have my own opinion, my own conspiracy theory, my own perspective. Tamra, I'm sorry, sweetheart, but I'm Team Shannon on this one. And I'm going to tell you why. Like, usually I would be like, you're right. You know, you and I are best friends. We're kikiing. You're calling me. I'm calling you. We're sharing secrets. You know, we are together all the time. And then all of a sudden, when I'm no longer on the show, all of a sudden, I'm not good. Sorry. Like, all of a sudden, then I'm not good enough to be friends with you, right? And you drop me as a friend. Like, what's up? In general, yes. However, we cannot forget that Tamra is so two-faced. Like, hey, Shay B, what's up? Hey, my beautiful candy canes. Shay B says, I don't mind Shannon only because she's not as toxic as some others. I agree. I really like Shannon. I don't think she's toxic at all. And I really, really hope that the women of the OC are watching what's going on with Bravo, and they come lighthearted, kiki, fun shade, keeping it love and light. Like, the last thing we need is for another Housewives franchise to go dark. Like, we have to keep OC light. Like, we have to. Like, after everything that's gone down with Beverly Hills, we have to keep the OC light and just fun. So hopefully if they will stay with this sort of like light shade, light kiki drama. So I agree. And I hope they don't go toxic. So when it comes to Tamra, it's like, no, Tamra, like, you're two-faced. When you're around Shannon, to her face, you act like you're her best friend. You know? But behind her back, to anyone that would listen, Tamra was just like, Shannon calls me all the time. She calls me at 2 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. You know, she's not doing good. She's drinking too much. This is going on, blah, 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 blah. So literally bad-mouthing Shannon to anybody who would listen. But then when Shannon was just like, okay, well, I'll give you some space, Then Tamra was all of a sudden like, why aren't you calling me? Why aren't you, you're off having fun. Now that you have fun with other people, now you don't call me. Well, Tamra, which is it? Are you annoyed that she's really codependent with you and calling you all the time and need you? Or do you like the fact that you feel like she needs you and you like the fact that you can go then and talk about her behind her back to other people? You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that Shannon dropped you, Tamra, because you got fired. I think Shannon dropped you because she watched the show along with the rest of us, and we saw how two-faced you were. You see what I'm saying? So no, Tamra, I don't think you should have a bone to pick with Shannon. You should apologize to Shannon and be like, hey, listen, I'm sorry that I kikied in your face and behind your back. All I did was complain about you and and tell everybody that you were crazy and you were drinking and all of this other stuff behind your back. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Shade, be all sunshine and a little shade. Exactly. And it may be a little exaggerated. Exactly. Like, let's keep OC just like this. Like, no, girl, we're kikiing and hot. Like, let's keep it light and shade. Let's keep it love and light and a little shade. Exactly. But then Tamra also has beef with Emily and Gina. So when it comes to Tamra having beef with Emily and Gina, basically, again, when Tamra was let go, Emily and Gina were like, we're so much happier she's gone. It's going to be such a better show now that she's gone. So now Tamra's going to be like, well, you had all the smoke when I left. Like, say it to my face, like, what's up now? But when it comes to Tamra versus Emily and Gina, I'm Team Tamra just because I don't like Emily and Gina. Like, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, I can't with them. Like, I don't like it. To me, they're a lot like Whitney Rose and Heather Gay, where they make up their own scenarios and justifications in their head, but then they go and repeat it to somebody as if it were fact. When it's like, no, that's not an actual fact. That never happened. That person never said that. That's just what you made up in your own mind. And that is what irritates me. And that's what causes so much drama and stirs everything up, because it's like, you can't in your mind decide this is why someone did something and then go to other people and say it as if that is the truth. So to me, Emily and Gina dismissed me with it. Gina is so annoying anyway. Like, why isn't Gina on The Real Housewives of New Jersey? That would make more sense. I don't even want her on my screen in general, but if I was going to, she's much more like a Jersey person than Beverly Hills. Like, to me, Gina's really thirsty. She's a social climber. She's a pick-me. The way she was so thirsty for Heather's approval, same situation. She was so thirsty for Heather's approval, she went to Heather and told what Shannon said about that other girl having sued Terry Dubrow. And then Gina and Emily were like, oh, we thought Shannon was lying. So that's how dirty they are. You're laughing with Shannon. You're kikiing with her. You're drinking. You're having fun. Shannon, off camera and off mic, tell you something. And then you go, oh, we thought Shannon was lying. And then on camera, on mic, you spill the beans. And honestly, I think that The Real Housewives of OC last season would have been a lot better had Gina and Emily not told Heather what Shannon told them about the women suing Terry Dubrow on camera. I think it tainted a lot of the season. There was a lot of fighting that was unnecessary and very stupid and all of that stuff. So to me, Emily and Gina could go. I'm not sure why Bravo brought them back. I actually like Shane, Emily's husband. I like little Shane. I like Shane better than I like Emily, to be perfectly honest. Okay. And Tamra is also going against Heather Dubrow because allegedly Tamra and Heather were friends and everything was fine, no big deal. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, yet to be seen, Heather Dubrow then starts talking mad crap about Tamra. And basically was just like to Andy, why should Tamra come back on the show? She has a podcast, talking about the housewives. How can you be a housewife but have a podcast about housewives? Which to me made zero sense and was very hypocritical, because it's like, Heather, how are you trying to be a housewife again when you're on like 5 other shows on 5 other networks And you also have a podcast and a YouTube channel called Heather's World. Sorry, you guys. Called Heather's World, where you also talk about housewives in your closet, in your life, and all of that stuff, right? So I'm confused, Heather. You literally have shows on other networks that you're on, and you have a podcast and a YouTube channel. Why are you trying to stop Tamra from coming back just because Tamra has a little podcast with Teddy Mellencamp, and that podcast is probably going to be canceled because Teddy. To be perfectly honest. Teddy talking about LVP and her brother who passed away. So I'm just really confused at the beef that Heather has with Tamra. I always thought they were friends. I always thought, that to me was surprising. Like, I don't know what Heather's Dubrow deal was for her to come at Tamra. But I guess we'll find out this upcoming season because it's basically Tamra against the world. Tamra's just like, I'm coming for you, Emily and Gina. I'm coming for you, Shannon. And I'm coming for you, Heather. Now, Taylor Armstrong, as we all know, is the first person to not just do like a cameo, but to actually do a switch franchise, to switch franchises. So Taylor Armstrong started out as a full-time diamond holder on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We all know what happened with her husband, and all that situation. She gets off the show. Years later, she was now on the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. And then after doing good there, they now brought her to the Real Housewives of OC as a friend of. And this is the first time that someone from one city has crossed over permanently to another city. So not like a Phaedra doing a pop-up in Dubai for one episode, but to actually be a friend of for the entire season, right? So Taylor has been filming. She's yet to do a big scene with the whole group, but she's been filming one-offs and doing dinners and filming at her house. There's also going to be a new housewife who allegedly is friends with Tamra, but again, they're not sure if this new housewife is going to be full-time or a friend of, or what that situation will be. Alexis Bellino, I think her name was. I think they called her Jesus Jugs or something like that. She's not coming back. She had been rumored to be coming back to the show, but she's not. And I'm okay with that because I don't really even remember Alexis, to be perfectly honest. And then Vicki, the first housewife ever, she is gunning for her orange. She wants this orange. She is gunning for this orange. She wants it so badly. So the deal with Vicki is that, and I didn't know this, but allegedly Vicki and Noella from last season actually really were friends. But Vicki said the moment Noella got on the show and started filming, she actually stopped being friends with Vicki. For whatever reason, I don't know. Did she think that she was on the show and she made it? She didn't need Vicki anymore because Vicki wasn't on the show. See, in this situation, I think that applies much more or less than to the Tamra and Shannon situation, right? So I do think that Vicki wants to film. She's thinking that Tamra is going to bring her into film, and then she wants to be brought on. But Vicki doesn't want to be a friend of. Vicki wants her orange back. She wants her orange back. She's ready to go. She's gunning for it. And she wants to be back on the show. And she's been doing different interviews and different things like that. I think where I think Vicki fumbled her orange was with the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. You know what I mean? I think when she came, she had a bad attitude. She was heartbroken over her breakup. She didn't really participate. She didn't really bond. She complained a lot. She didn't hoop it up. I think that's where she lost her orange. Because as we all know, the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip is really a testing ground. It's for them to get their orange back or their diamond back or whatever it is. It's a testing ground to see, can you come back to the franchises? Are you still funny? Are you still appealing? Do people want to watch you? And I think that's where Vicki really misstepped. Now, they're also talking about Kelly Dodd wanting to come back to the show. Essentially what it was Heather wanted to come back, Bravo wanted Heather back, and Heather was like, I will not film if Kelly Dodd is there. So they let Kelly go. and sort of put all their eggs in the Heather Dubrow basket, and that didn't exactly work out because I don't think that Heather was the dynamite draw that they all thought she was going to be. And I think that for a couple of reasons. One, I think she wasn't that because it was too, I think once the Housewives or anybody on reality TV, think about like Melody from the Real Housewives, or I'm sorry, from Love and Marriage Huntsville. I think anytime it becomes too much of an infomercial, every scene, we lose interest. We are no longer invested. And I think that's what happened. That's what's happening with Heather. Like every scene, it's like an infomercial for her and Terry's stuff. Like this scene is an infomercial for their podcast. This scene is an infomercial for Botch. This scene is an infomercial for their new book, their new skincare line, their new show that they're doing about, 7-year itch and all that stuff. It just became like the show just can't be one infomercial for you and your side hustles, because then we don't care about you anymore. We're no longer invested. And I think that was a big misstep. And then also, I think the fact that what went down when Gina told Heather about the girl, I forgot what her name was, who had sued Terry, and then that whole big thing blew up. And it became this whole deal, and Heather lost her mind and all the stuff, and then the Nuella, all of that, when like allegedly Heather pushed somebody in production, all these things happened. Like, I think all of that sort of tainted this, like, Heather coming and, like, saving the OC. I think if Heather came and just was more real and less infomercial, even with her kids, everything with her kids was a big infomercial. Like, she took her kids to, visit Syracuse University, and it was her doing, opening speech. It was her kids talking about their sexuality, and it was promoting her daughter's new book. Like, I get it. You're on the show, you want to use it as a platform. But when every single situation is literally just set up for you to sell something, you lose us. You lose us, So I think that is kind of where Heather Dubrow stumbled with everything. But I will say I am just really excited, and I really hope that this season stays like this. And by like this, I mean fun, kooky, light shade, the light drama, like, you ruined my cake, or, too many like we have too much champagne. This person's house is too big. Like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? Like, I want to keep it light and a fun kiki. I don't want what we have in Beverly Hills. I want to keep it light. I want to keep it fresh. I want to keep it fun. I want to keep it enjoyable. I want to keep it enjoyable. I'm looking forward to Tamra coming back. I will always be Team Shannon, though, but I am looking forward to Tamra giving it to Emily and Gina. I'm looking forward to, Heather and Tamra going at it. I want to see what Vicki antics will be, if she'll actually film or if she won't, unless she only has the orange. Let's see what happens there. And I'm interested to see who this new housewife will be, if she'll be a full-time housewife or not. Like, who is she? What is her dynamic like? What's the vibe? So I'm excited to meet her. But I also want to know what you guys think. Let me know if you're watching on the replay, if you're watching live. Who are you excited to see? Are you looking forward to season 17? Are you ready for some light shade, some light drama? And yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think it was smart for Bravo to bring Taylor into the OC as a friend of, or do you think they should have got some fresh blood, somebody new, somebody different, somebody fun? So just let me know. Shay B is saying agree and not healthy boundaries. Yeah, with Emily and Gina, absolutely not. I like Shane. I like little Shane too. Me too. He does. He seems fun and he's sarcastic. I don't think he's rude. I think he's just sarcastic. Yeah. And Shay B says, Shane and Emily, I do believe are in a solid couple, not perfect, but good. Yes, I agree. I agree with that 100%. All right, my little candy canes. I love you guys. If you have been having a fun catch up and a fun kiki, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and share this with a friend, because a kiki is always better with community. And drop your comments below. Are you excited for the new season of The Real Housewives of Orange County, which I believe they are filming right now? So let a girl know. Until next time, I love you and take care of yourself and each other. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go!